Welcome back to Dwayne's World. So very excited about today's video because not only the content, but I want to take a moment here and kind of discuss my last video. And in my last video, which was the Mclane versus cow trimmer comparison, let me start by saying, wow, the feedback has been phenomenal. In Dwayne's World's eyes, that has been my most popular video thus far. And I'm very proud of that. I put a lot of hours, a lot of time, invested a lot of editing in that video. A lot of thought went into that video prior to. It wasn't just picking up a camera and shooting. Really kind of wanted to kind of dive into, different aspects of the mower. What would I choose? What would I stay away from? And, I knew after putting that video together, even though the overwhelming response has been that it's been great and people have really enjoyed it, I was also looking for comments about, Dwayne, why didn't you include this? Or Dwayne, why did you leave this out? And I knew that would happen, right? In fact, I'm glad that I have actually now received some of that feedback. And there's one comment that I wanted to bring up that I think is a very important comment that I feel I should have included in the video that I want to be able to address today. And that comment comes from a guy named Mark, and you can read his comment down below in the comment area. And the fact that he brings up has nothing to do with the overall maintenance, the reliability, the durability, the maneuverability, the cut quality, the reel, any of those categories. What he brought up was a fact that I think something we all need to consider is where are each of these mowers manufactured. And the Mclane, as we all know, is made in the United States. In fact, it's made about 2 hours, from where I live in Los Angeles area there, as where the California trimmer is made abroad. And I think that's a very important fact that I should have included in the video because that fact alone may decide to somebody which mower they choose to purchase. So I know I was kind of, and it was kind of tongue-in-cheek that I was going through each of the rounds and who I selected as the winner. But by far, Mclane, ding, 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 gets the check mark there for where it's made because I think we all should be proud of a product that's made in the United States. The other thing I just want to quickly mention as I was going through YouTube last night, and as my shirt says here, channel surfing is my cardio, right? So as you guys can tell, I get a lot of cardio in. But when looking through my content, I always generally look at my, who I'm subscribed to and see what content they have that's new that's out there, because those are people I've chose to follow. And one of those people that I'm following is Fairway Bermuda, Daryl over at Fairway Bermuda. And Daryl's got a lot of great content out there. Daryl has a beautiful lawn, Bermuda lawn, hybrid Bermuda. So I really like watching his content. I think he does a good job putting his videos together. So I'm watching it, and I'm so excited because I see that he has a new 25-inch Mclane, and I'm a Mclane guy, as you all know, just like I'm a cow trimmer guy, right? But at the same time, I'm watching it, and he talks about the mower, and he's using a mower, and he gives me a shout out. I'm not suspecting it, I'm not thinking that he was going to or knew that he was going to. But thank you, Daryl, for that shout out. He basically said that Dwayne's World puts out a really good video on an overview for Mclane's, and he wanted to give me that shout out. So thank you, Daryl. That was so nice of you. Let me repay the favor by telling everyone here that's watching my video, go over to Fairway Bermuda and look at his content, because he's got great content out there. And I love the fact that he chose a homeowner's reel mower. Right? Not that I don't love the greens mower. I'm sure they're fabulous and they probably cut better, drive better, more reliable, whatever you want to say about it. It's probably much better than any one of my Mclanes or cow trimmers, but I'm a Mclane guy. I'm a cow trimmer guy. I'm a residential mower guy. So Daryl, thank you. Great job. Give him a thumbs up on his video. Subscribe to his channels if you're not already. Let me quickly talk about today's video. It's not going to be a long one. It'll probably be shorter than my introduction here, to be honest with you. But as you know, my Mclane mower is a new mower, and I just barely hit 5 hours on that motor. So I want to do an oil change. I'm going to show you guys how I do my oil change. It's going to be a little bit different, a little less conventional than everything that you've seen on YouTube so far. And the other thing I want to talk about is how did I know that I have 5 hours on that mower? You want to find out? You got to stay tuned and watch my video. So what we're going to be doing today on my Mclane mower is I want to do an oil change. Now you can watch a lot of different videos out there on how to do an oil change. But what I want to do is I'm going to do my oil change a little bit differently, and I'll show you what that is. But just really quickly, we do have a couple of drain holes here, or fill holes. We have that one there on the front of the engine. We have the one on the back of the engine, as you can see there. And then you have a drain plug that's actually right there that most people use to actually drain out the oil. And I don't know if it's necessarily by design, it might be, but if you notice there's a little indentation right here, it probably just helps the oil run, towards the back of the mower there, into some type of catch container whenever you're draining the oil. So that's the one thing we're going to do. The other thing I want to talk about is how did I know, or why did I choose to do my oil change now? Now, this is a newer Briggs Stratton motor. Like I mentioned, when I got this mower, even though it was used, had never been used. So right now, I'm at about a little over 5.5 hours of use on this particular mower. How do I know that? Well, the day I actually got it, before I even really ran it, I installed one of these, and you can pick one of these up on Amazon. This is a tachometer hours meter. Now, I have this also installed on my other mowers as well. And part of the reason why I installed these in the first place was just because I never quite knew how much I was using my mower. And I really wanted to know that, so that way when I do my oil changes, I know whether or not it really needs it, or if I'm just throwing money away. And I think that was an important fact, for me at least, when it came to the overall maintenance of the mower. So the way that this basically attaches is very simple. And you can route your wire however you like. I kind of look at this. It kind of looks a little bit messy. I may actually run it down the sidebar here. I think I might clean that up. But in the meantime, though, the way it basically attaches is to your spark plug coil. And the instructions say you should wrap this around your spark plug coil at least maybe 5-6 times to be able to get the proper signal that then runs back up here to the hours meter. So if you don't have one of these, I highly recommend it. In fact, I think where I saw the hours meter installed on lawn equipment came off of one of my other favorite YouTubers' channels, which is Sunny Bermuda. He has these installed on most of his mowers. Now, the style he uses, and I'll kind of just come over here to my California trimmer just so you guys can see, because I have one installed here. This one here is purely an hours gauge. So this one here is just going to show exactly how many hours are ran. The hookup, as far as how it's installed, is exactly the same way. So you basically are just going to wrap the wire around the spark plug coil there. But coming back over here to my Mclane, again, this has the hours, but it also has an RPM gauge in there as well, which is nice. I found out actually when I got this from the factory, it seemed like the throttle adjustment was actually set too high, meaning it was running at a higher level than I felt comfortable with. It was probably close to 4,000 RPM. Now, there is a little bit of debate on how accurate these are, but at the same time, it told me, my mower is probably running at too high of a throttle, and that could cause premature wear on my motor, so I backed it down just a little bit, but I wouldn't have known that had I not had this hours gauge here. Okay, so with that, let's get to the oil change. Let me show you guys what I'm using to perform my oil change on my Mclane Briggs Stratton motor. You may notice that little blue device over there. What is that? That's an actual suction device. So what that's going to be used for is to be able to suck the oil out of the motor as opposed to using a drain plug. Now, I know what you might be thinking, Dwayne, that ain't going to work. There's no way it's going to get all the oil out. Trust me, this one is, I think, made by Topsider. The label kind of got worn off here. I've had this for a few years. I've used this on my own vehicles. I've used them from vehicles I've owned in the past, where it makes it so much easier to do an oil change. I don't even have to get underneath the vehicle to be able to suck all the oil out. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, Dwayne, I've seen reviews on things like that where it didn't suck all the oil out, or a mechanic went underneath the car after sucking it out and oil came out. There's always going to be some oil that's left over in an engine. I think the question is how much you're actually leaving behind. And I'll tell you, when I've sucked oil out, I've actually measured it to see how much oil I actually sucked out. And in most cases, compared to when I actually did a drain plug withdrawal, it is practically the same. So that is just so much more convenient, and I think it fits the application here. So this makes it a lot easier. If you look at a lot of different YouTube videos that are out there on how to do an oil change, when you remove the back drain plug, it just causes a big mess, or you have to do so much prep work to get the mower in a way where you don't create a mess. This is just going to be so much easier. So let me kind of demonstrate how this thing actually works. I'm just going to use a little cloth or a little rag here just so I don't get any oil on my motor, because even though I have my height of cut set as high as it'll go, these motors basically have so much oil in them to a certain point where it's full when it starts to leak out of the drain plug, and it's slightly leaking there. So it might be that the mower is not completely level. But basically what I'm going to do, let me just come around to the other side here. All right, so I just wanted to quickly do a little bit of a closer shot. Hopefully you guys can see this, but if you notice here, there's a little white clamp here. So before I start pumping on this device to suck the oil out, you want to make sure you secure that. So that way it's basically going to apply pressure, allow you to build up pressure in your tank. And then what you do after you've created enough suction, which is probably about 20 pumps on the actual device, then you'll start to see oil start to flow here, and you'll hear it when the actual motor is out of oil. Okay, so let me bring my camera in for a closer shot here. Do you hear that? It's almost like it's already sucked it all out. So let me put the camera down for just a moment here. So what I'm doing is I'm just making sure, because it's not like as deep as a regular engine, obviously, but I just want to make sure I'm continuing to have suction here. And you can kind of see the bubbles as they're going through. So if you see there, you hear that? That means it's close to empty there. So let me go ahead and just pump it a few more times. Okay, so I just want to give this thing a couple extra pumps here just to make sure I got all the oil out. And it looks like I have. I'm kind of moving my thing around here. And that looks like all the oil. Okay, so one thing I can kind of just do to double check here, there's a little dipstick that they include. If I go ahead and screw that down there, I'm not getting any oil. So I know that the oil is empty here. Sorry, that pumping gets you out of breath here. Sorry about that. I backed out. Again, it's empty. There's no oil on there. So that means I'm ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this up now. You can look at the manual and see how much oil you need to apply, but really, you want to basically make sure your mower is level, and when it starts coming out of that drain plug, your oil is full. So let me show you what oil I'm going to use. So what I'm going to choose to use, I'm going to use 10W30. I'm going to use a full synthetic oil. You know, it's about $7 or so for this 1 quart, but it's fairly inexpensive insurance to make sure I get years of life out of my mower. So I'm going to go ahead and start filling that in. You're probably going to want to pick up one of these longer funnels. This allows you to probably really easily kind of get that in there to be able to hold it when you're pouring in the oil. Move this out of the way for a second here. Again, I got all my old oil there, and you do want to obviously dispose of your oil properly. We have a great recycling program where I live where they actually come pick it up from my house, so definitely love that. But definitely dispose of your oil properly, just like you would any automotive oil. My little rag here just is an extra insurance to ensure I'm not going to drip anywhere. So now I'm just going to basically start filling in my oil. Need a little more than that. And keep going. Again, you can always add more. It's harder to take some out. Okay, so I think we're good there. We've got a little bit of overflow outside the mower there. So that's definitely what we want. Gonna go ahead and put my drain plug back in. And we are good to go. All right. And that oil change is 100% done. It's a little bit of mess there, but the rag's going to get that. Again, I talked about using ceramic coating on your motors. This is a great example of why you want to do that. So that way you keep your paint nice and shiny. All right, so that's my video on the Briggs Stratton Oil Change. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, it's not that you couldn't find this content on YouTube. I know it exists out there in 100 times over on how to do an oil change on a Briggs Stratton, but I wanted to show you Dwayne's World's way of doing it. And again, I use an oil extractor. I will put a description of what oil extractor I use. I believe it's called Topsider, but it works really well for me, not only on my mowers, but on my vehicles as well. So I recommend it. Something you may want to take a look at just in general. There's a lot of different oil extractors you can pick. Take a look at the reviews, see which one fits your application. But for me, that's the one I chose to go with way back when. And it's worked out. You know, I've had years of use out of it and it works out great. You know, please make sure you subscribe to my channel, like my videos, comment down below. And as always, be excellent and party on.